Hey guys, my name is Nate and I'm the Otter Outdoorsman. Today I'm at an event called Stealthing, and for my friends I'm going to be making a chili that consists of primarily beef and lamb. The ingredients I'm going to be using is 2 pounds of chili ground beef, a pound of ground lamb. I'm going to be using 2 poblanos, a jalapeno, green bell pepper. I'm going to be using some red kidney beans, some black beans. I'm going to have 2 cans of tomato sauce, the beef stock, 2 medium yellow onions, and a Old Bay spice. The salsa I'm going to use just to add a little bit more texture to it, a little bit more spices to it. They do kind of add on to the vegetables. It's kind of a lazy man's way of not having to dice up a bunch of vegetables. So let's get started. Okay guys, and now that all the veggies are chopped up, let's get this thing rolling. So what we have here is just a thing of olive oil, and what we're going to do is we are going to be adding the 2 onions that have been diced, and basically what we're going to do is we're going to sweat these down. We'll just add, just to help sweat them down, what we'll do is just add a bit of salt and maybe just a dash of pepper as well, just to get them started. And then what we'll do is just a little bit over time, we're going to let these slowly cook down. Reduce that to a low heat. I'll bring you back when these have simmered down a bit. Generally you're going to want to let these be when they're translucent. Okay, now that the onions have kind of been cooked down enough for me, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in the diced peppers, and that is the bell pepper, the 2 poblanos, and 1 jalapeno. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to saute these together, and when they cook down, while they start to cook down, I'm going to actually start browning the meat. Now, friendly reminder is if you're cooking hot peppers, do it in a well-ventilated area, especially if you're sauteing them like this. The fumes can cause you to choke and cough, and if it isn't ventilated well enough, you can die from it. So what we're going to do is now that those have sauteed down a bit and heated up, before we start sauteing the meats and browning them, I could brown them in here, but what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to add in a bit of the stock, and we're going to let this kind of meld with it. Now to let these kind of steep in here a bit. I'm going to reserve just a bit afterwards with the meats. And what we'll do, we'll just go ahead and stir this one more time. And this beef stock will allow these to kind of steep in there, and we'll move on to browning. So now you want to fire up an olive burner. And what we'll do is, in an oiled pan, we'll start off by browning the various meats. In this case, what we'll do is we'll start off with the beef, and we'll do the lamb last because the lamb tends to be a bit more, what's the term I'm looking for? Fatty. That fat will cause a lot of grease, which I do want in the chili, but what we'll do is we'll start with the meat, with the ground beef. This is, as I said, this is just a chili ground that I got from the store. I'm not sure what composition, but generally speaking, you want to be somewhat on the fattier side unless you want a leaner meat. So this is about a pound of chili, and basically what we're going to do is we're going to brown it and then add it to the chili. And we're going to do this with each one of the meats we deal with. And what we'll do is we'll break this up like you do. I'll bring you back when all the meat's been browned. So you want to break it up and get as much of it browned and broken down as much as possible, because you want it to be as little as possible so that it's, you know, nice in the spoon. Okay. Because the lamb is the last bit that's needed to be browned, and it is actually so fatty, I don't even have to deglaze the pan. So what we're going to do is we're adding the last batch of meat. If it's slightly undercooked, that's fine. It's going to be simmering for a while. So now what we can do is we're going to add the last of the beef stock. What we're also going to do is we're going to start adding in more ingredients. So once you have all the ingredients opened, all the rest of the ingredients, what you can do is go ahead and add in the tomato sauce, which will give it some good depth, which is, again, 2 cans of tomato sauce. The cans of both black and kidney beans. I'm going to add the juices this time, but you can also rinse them to reduce the amount of, to not thicken it up, but I want this to be a little bit thicker and a little bit more starch to it, which for me is good. There we go. We also have the salsa. That's the entire jar. Again, lazy man's way of chopping. And you can use whatever spice mix you want. I'm just using Old Bay. And probably about a teaspoon or so. Remember, you can always add spice in, but you can never take it out. So then what we're going to do is mix all of this in. Yeah, there's going to be some big chunks in there. I kind of like it. It kind of gives it a home stewy feel. And what we're going to do, I mean, it looks like a stew, but this will really be more like a chili because it's more on the spicy end. And what we'll do is, after this has all been kind of mixed together, we'll put the spurs to it, get it boiling, bring it down to a simmer, and then we'll let it kind of cook down. So what we'll do is we'll put the spurs to it, and it's going to bring it to a boil. Then we'll reduce and bring to a simmer. And then we'll cook for an hour, 2 hours. Or till it's done or people are hungry. Okay guys, so what we got here is the finished chili. So I'm going to dish out to everyone and they're going to like it. That wasn't a staring, threatening glance at them to tell them that they're going to like it. Nah, I'm just kidding. I'm sure they'll enjoy it. Nation. Katie, so what do y'all think?